How should staff be trained on wage garnishment procedures? Imagine a situation where an employee owes money to a creditor or government agency, and a court orders part of their wages to be withheld. How does your team handle that smoothly and legally? That's where proper training on wage garnishment procedures comes into play. It's essential for staff to understand what wage garnishment is, a legal process where employers must withhold part of an employee's earnings to pay off a debt based on a court or government order. The first step in training is explaining the importance of compliance. Employers are legally required to follow these orders promptly and accurately to avoid penalties or legal trouble. Staff need to learn how to identify and review garnishment orders. They should check if the order is valid and meets legal standards. Different types of garnishments exist, like child support, tax levies, or creditor debts. Each has specific rules, and laws may vary between states and at the federal level. Next, training must cover how quickly to respond. Usually, payroll staff should act within 30 days of receiving the order. They need to start withholding wages by the next pay cycle. It's also vital to notify the employee about the garnishment. They should get a copy of the order and be informed about their rights to contest it if they believe it's incorrect. Calculating the correct amount to withhold is another key point. Staff should understand how to determine the employee's disposable earnings, what's left after taxes and Social Security are deducted. Garnishments can only be applied to disposable earnings, and the amount withheld must stay within legal limits. For example, federal law caps garnishments at the lesser of 25% of disposable earnings or the amount exceeding 30 times the federal minimum wage per week. When employees have multiple garnishment orders, staff must know the priority rules. Usually, child support orders take precedence over other debts. They should allocate funds accordingly, ensuring the most urgent debts are paid first. Maintaining confidentiality is also critical. Only payroll personnel and those who need to know should have access to garnishment details. Accurate records are necessary, including copies of orders, amounts withheld, payments made, and communications with employees and creditors. Staying current with federal and state laws is vital. Laws can change, and staff should know when to stop garnishing wages. Typically, garnishments end when the debt is paid, the order is revoked, or the garnishment period expires. They should also be trained on what to do if an employee's employment status changes, like if they resign or are terminated. Proper procedures include notifying the creditor or court about these changes. Using payroll systems effectively can help automate compliance. Staff should be trained on how to use payroll software that calculates garnishments accurately and generates reports. It's also important to emphasize that employers cannot retaliate against employees because of garnishments. Actions like reducing hours or firing someone for having a garnishment are illegal. By covering these points in training, your team will be prepared to handle wage garnishments correctly, respecting employee rights while staying compliant with all legal requirements. Practical exercises like reviewing sample garnishment orders and practicing calculations can help reinforce these skills and prepare staff for real situations.